I only employed you because I was jealous of your fro, man, Jared said, laughing. Buzz put his hands to his hair, and Jared laughed louder. Well, I tell you what, you don't want to work with any of these great artists, then you go out and find someone. The tour organizers want faces and names on posters, and they want them yesterday. Hey, man, I wasn't meaning to be disrespectful, but, Jared began, I have to be somewhere other than here. I'll call you tomorrow. Buzz got up from the diner table, collating his papers together, and then placing his iPad on top. Buzz, come on. Let's say we have another coffee and look through the list again. I might be able to do something with Vince Gill. I mean, everybody loves Vince Gill. Hell, I even love Vince Gill, Jared said. He stood, pulled his baseball cap down a little lower over his head. I'll see you tomorrow. Try and stay out of trouble for 24 hours, will you? Buzz gave him one of his stern looks before buttoning his suit jacket and making for the door. Jared opened his mouth to speak, but his advisor was already through the exit and heading for the car. More coffee? The waitress asked, waving the pot she was holding. Hell, why not? Thank you, ma'am, Jared answered. He smiled at her and sat back down. I love your music, she began in a coy voice. Really? Looking so fine like that, I was thinking you might be a Carrie Underwood kind of a girl. He studied her face and waited for the blush. And there it was, those pinked-up, heated-up cheeks he seemed to be able to magic up in women just by being polite. Well, I like things a little bit edgy now and then, she flirted. Is that right? What's your name, darling? Angie. She tapped the name badge pinned to her chest. Well, Angie, it sure is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jed Marshall, as you probably know, and if you tell me you can sing, you're gonna get me out of a whole heap of trouble. Why in hell did she bother with moisturizing cream when only one side of her face saw the benefit? Now, if they sold cream that made nasty zigzag-shaped scars disappear overnight, she would sell her house for it. Actually, she'd probably sell her house and a kidney. Looking in the mirror, Honor traced her fingers along a Z-shaped scar that ran from the corner of her right eye to halfway down her cheek. 10 years and twice as many operations. It was no longer red, bumpy, and angry, but it was there, a silver, rutted streak that made her feel ugly every minute of every day. Are you okay in there, darling? Larry knew she was hiding. He'd put on his J.R. Ewing voice when he'd arrived. That meant he was going to try and sweet-talk her into doing something she didn't want to do. She wasn't really surprised. It had been the same for the last 10 years. Him trying to drive her back to the place she'd left, and her backing up. Give me a minute, Larry. Ladies don't just zip up and go, she called back. Damn him for turning up. He hadn't even had the courtesy to call her first. He'd just turned up at the door and expected her to be in. She did have a life. She'd become quite a regular at Target. She even had a loyalty card. And there was her job at the music shop. The job that had saved her in so many ways. She smiled into the mirror, widening her cheeks, trying to make them both do the same thing. Symmetry was such a pain in the ass. She ran her fingers through her long, dark curls and settled her hair on her shoulders, pulling the right section forward to hide the scar. No, Larry, I don't want to. She sighed. We've talked about this before, Larry, and the answer is no. Was that determined enough? Taking a deep breath, she fixed a smile on her face, put her hand on the door, and opened it. Shall I make us some tea? She greeted, striding into the kitchen.